Episode 21 of the No Narratives podcast. This is the NBA season opener. We had to record. We didn't care what time the game ended. We were going to record. That's what we were going to do. Red Nation Blog. I'm here. I'm back with my boy Quinn, man. He's going to try to be a regular for the NBA season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to try to do. Try to keep my boy on. Let's just get right to it. The first game, it's not really a lot to talk about. Boston Celtics obliterated the New York Knicks. They went 29 to 61 for three. That was 48% from three. And honestly, that's not really indicative of how efficient they really were from three. They spent they missed like 13 threes in a row or something like that, or maybe even 17 threes in a row, trying to break the record and trying to get to 33s. So that efficiency is not even really as efficient as they were from three. They were probably at 53% shooting the three ball as a team. What are your takeaways from that game? Like, I got some takeaways, but I want you to go first.
So first is that whatever Mikal Bridges did to his shot, he needs to stop that shit immediately, because the New York fans are not going to give him long. He's not going to have a long time to be breaking it up like that. That's number one. Number two, I see what the Knicks are supposed to be. But Boston, man, like Boston's just like their whole offense is just set to create triggers that gets defense scrambling, and it just generates threes in a way that's like a really I kind of hate that offense, but at the same time it works. Like you can't really, what can I say? They won a championship playing that way. Boston is going to be a juggernaut. I don't know what team can really deal with them like in a 7-game series. I mean, they may have a chance, but I feel like that list is getting slimmer by the day. So,
we'll see. If you look at the Knicks shot 55% from the field and 37% from three. They scored 109 points. The Knicks were not bad. Like, offensively, for them to be adding the pieces that they added, for Mikal Bridges' shot to be funky, they did not score. They were not bad offensively. Boston was so efficient and so well moving so early on that it just didn't matter. Jason Tatum was 14 of 18 from the field. He was 8 of 11 from three. Derek White was 6 of 10 from three. Al Horford was 3 of 5 from three. Drew Holiday 4 of 6. Jaylen Brown 5 of 9. Like, they just were efficient from three. That's it.
Yeah.
Porzingis didn't even play, and like this team is just looking like nobody can really fuck with them right now. And it's early. I don't want to overreact. If Boston shoots 29 to 61 from three at a 48% clip for the whole season, they going to the finals. They're going 82-0, and then they going 16-0, and then they go win the championship back to back, and they'll be the greatest team ever.
Because at that point, it's just math.
Exactly. It's just math. That's what I was saying the whole game. I'm like,
you can't.
The Knicks shot diet, Jalen Brunson goes down and gets a layup right in the paint. I'm like, ooh, that's a good shot. The Celtics get the ball. Jason Tatum waited for the defenders to get on him. Jab step, pull up in their face, three. I'm like, oh my God, this dude was just clicking tonight. And you can already see the narrative that they cooking up. Oh, revenge season. Oh, revenge season. Oh, revenge season. Can you believe they left him off the Olympics? Can you believe they left him off the Olympics? Can you believe he didn't play during the Olympics? You can already see the narrative. So if we're talking about narratives, which the MVP is a narrative award, and if Jason Tatum plays not quite this well, but if he plays anywhere near this, MVP season loaded. MVP season is loaded because
they've got all the narrative momentum going their way.
Facts. Is there anything that you liked from the Knicks? I mean, other than, I know you said Mikal Bridges' funky ass shot.
There is, but I feel like I don't know if it's the system they're going to run for him or if it's just who he is, and that is Towns. I feel like the Knicks offense creates a lot of cross matches where he should get a smaller player, but he's just always camping outside on the 3-point line, which I get he can make that shot, but it feels like he should be ducking in or he should be getting those easy points. So I would like to see if they could just have a set where he can get looks at touchdown because he's their center, and I think Cat is good enough around the post to do that. So I would like to see that because I don't feel like he just has to stay on the 3-point line. But uh, that's one thing I want to see the Knicks do.
For me on the Knicks side, and then we can move on because there's not really a lot to cover from this game. For me, from the Knicks side, there were times that I did see Karl Anthony Towns. He had Drew Holiday as his matchup, and he didn't really take advantage. He was 5 for 9 from the field. He didn't even get in the double figures in shot attempts. So that tells you all you need to know. And McBride, man, McBride, 26 points, 8 of 10
Yeah,
from the field, 4
he
or
was
5
hot.
from 3. He was hooping. He was the only bright light this entire game for the New York Knicks, outside of the lights in Madison Square Garden. Like, he was the second biggest light in that gym for that team. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that game was a blowout, and we don't have to stay there long. But let's get to the game that you said would be a blowout in favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I
Let's get to the
did.
game where you were
I did.
paranoid, where you were
I
sweating
was
bullets, and
not
I was like, I don't
paranoid.
see. I was like, I
not
don't see what he's
paranoid.
talking. When you was texting me that, I was like, bro, what is he? I don't think Minnesota got it like
Well,
that to blow out LA.
first of all, Minnesota committed a grave sin, not playing Rob Dillingham. Like what the French toast, man. Rob
I don't know,
deserves
man.
minutes, bro. He's a good player. He's a steal of the draft.
He a
They've
rookie.
got like other players. That's number one. But
They
so
have
the
3
reason
guards
why
in front of him.
feeling the way I felt because I felt like the athletic perimeter defense, and you saw it in the game, right, would really get to D'Lo and Austin Reeves, and their production would suffer. But well, Anthony Davis is there to save the day. So
Was he ever?
that's kind of the story of that game, and that's why I was wrong. And also,
Hey,
Minnesota didn't even show up like that. Like they didn't really turn it on until late. The game was like it
yeah,
was way too early because they were like
yeah.
mentally
They
it
were
just
down
looked like they
19
weren't
at a
really
point.
locked in at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
that
Yeah, the Lakers
was
had went
yeah
on a 17. The Lakers had went on a 17-2 run at about the 9-minute mark to start the second quarter, and they went on a
yeah
run for like 3 minutes. They was like 17-2. They did a really good job of executing the offense and just kind of obliterated Minnesota offensively. Anthony Davis, 36 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. This is the Anthony Davis I want to see on a night-to-night basis. This is the Anthony Davis that the Lakers thought they were getting on a night-to-night basis. And I know that they've had coaches. I know that they won a championship. The way that JJ Redick used Anthony Davis, man, that is beautiful offense. He was in the high
hmm
post. He was isoing. He was running pick and roll. He was running pick and pops. He was diversifying his game so much. And he's actually using, even if AD doesn't get the necessary assists, he's using his gravity to open up things for others. Like, it was beautiful to watch. Like, this is
yeah
the AD I'm a fan of. I am a fan of this Anthony Davis. I know you are.
yeah. I mean, I think JJ, man, wow. I mean, I remember being alone on the Ham's Trash Island for quite a while last season. Everyone was giving this man bail, all sorts of bail, and I just had to watch night in. Even with Russell Westbrook on the team, I had to also watch a coach torpedo this team, and it's just great to get a competent coach who I think they're running a successful. They're solving so many problems at once. They're using Anthony Davis right, and they have successfully got LeBron off ball. Like
Yep.
like there's times when you can use him on ball when the offense gets ugly. Okay, fine, go on ball, Bron. Go do your thing. But then there's times where like, hey, let's run an organized offense. Let's get several actions going, and that's great. His teams have always needed that, but now that they got it, man, it looks good. It looks good. I'm happy
Hey,
with.
I'm gonna send you a link to this video that I saw on Twitter. Darvin Ham is talking to I put it in the chat, in the studio chat. Darvin Ham is talking to his guys, and during the timeout, he's like, "Good job, guys. Salute." I'm like, bro, I know this man was not doing that during a time. Now, during the timeout, the coaches don't talk strategy, but that was insane when I heard that. It was just hilarious. Like,
I
you know what
gotta
I'm saying?
see.
We could play the clip. I'm gonna play the clip.
Don't settle. Go hard on them dudes. Everybody's trying to play the right way. Salute. Be aggressive.
That shit was hilarious, dog. Like, I was watching that and I was cracking up because I'm like,
Dog, that
bro,
was my
y'all was
life.
right.
That was my life.
Y'all
Every
was
Laker
right.
game, seeing shit like this.
Yeah,
That's
was
why we
right.
call him pockets. His hands are
Yeah,
always in his fucking pocket. But like
yeah, yeah.
But
No,
look,
y'all was right,
JJ,
man. Y'all was right. My fault. My fault. Y'all was right, man. But listen, dog. This is the Rui Hashimura had 14 shots. LeBron James 16. Everybody in the starting lineup had double figure shot attempts. Everybody in the starting lineup took at least three threes. That's what you want to see. JJ, I'm sure is coaching that. Dalton Connect, he should get more minutes. 16 minutes. He got to get more minutes. I would give him. I mean, I don't know. Is Christie a guard? Christie is a guard, right?
yeah,
Max Christie, yeah, he's a guard. The Lakers bench, I'm looking at their bench right now. Their bench is not really impressive. It's not really comprised of anybody. Dalton Connect should be the first guy off. I mean, well, Jackson Hayes has the big when AD goes to the bench, but Dalton Connect should be the first like scorer, I
so
guess, go-to
yeah,
guy off their bench. And they should immediately run stuff for him because he can play. He came off the bench, hit a three immediately. So you got to give him props for that. And for the Minnesota point, you said that they wasn't really ready to play. Anthony
yeah,
Davis was trying to get them going the whole night. He was screaming, he was doing
yeah,
plays and doing everything like that. But Julius Randle didn't get his 10th field goal attempt until like the game was over. So, he's
yeah.
still trying to feel his way in. Anthony Davis, I'm sorry, not Anthony Davis. Anthony Edwards took 25 shots. The next person that took the most was DiVincenzo with 11 field goal attempts.
And that's
Everybody else.
that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, I thought the whole point of having Randall, having drafting Rob, was so you had extra shot
Mhm.
creators, so you could spread out the ways you attack a defense. But they just, I mean, they just didn't cut. They just weren't the Minnesota that we remember seeing.
It's early, but I
It's
mean,
just early.
Nickeil
Yeah, it's the first
Alexander
game of the season.
Walker. This is my thing with the Dillingham stuff, and this is what I told my boy Carl. They got Mike Conley. I know he's older, but they got Mike Conley. He's a guard. He's a true point guard. Mike Conley. They got Anthony Edwards. That's two guards. Then you got Dante DiVincenzo and you got Nickeil Alexander Walker. That's
Yeah,
four guards. Where's the minutes for Dillingham going to come? What does he do better than the guys in front of him? Nickeil Alexander Walker was 5 for 7 from the field, 3 or 4 from 3. He had 14 points. He was a plus 13.
yeah. You
Like,
can use
where do the
Nikhil as a
minutes
wing
come
though.
from? I mean, you could use him as a wing, but I don't know. If you use him
Yeah,
as a wing, then you're gonna have Rob and potentially Anthony Edwards or Rob and Dante DiVincenzo out there in the minutes, and neither one of those guys are true guards, or true point guards. Anthony Edwards isn't a true point guard, so that's the only my only hesitation. I'm sure they're going to use Rob as the season progresses, though. But this was the season opener,
yeah.
and I think that that's what it was.
And really, what it looked like to me was the Lakers' continuity paid off. Like they just looked familiar with everybody, with each other.
Yeah,
Like that was
yeah,
that
they
was a big
did,
part of it too, right? Like
hmm
they looked like they knew what each other wanted to do, where to get the ball,
and they look
where the
bought
passes
in.
were going to be. They looked like just like they had chemistry down. And I think that's
Yeah,
that's really good for for a LeBron team,
hmm
especially where the rosters changed a lot, right? But now
yeah.
it's like they've had this third year, and so now everybody's comfortable. You don't see like careless turnovers. Like Minnesota had a couple of those, and just kind of confusion with what to do when the defense locks you up. What do you do the last 5 seconds of the shot clock? So it was good to see that pay off for them. So if the Lakers play organized, they could be a dangerous team at the bottom end, 6 to 8.
So we know that the Lakers got a new head coach, and we did kind of talk about it a little bit. We alluded to it a little bit. But how do you feel about JJ Redick now as the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? Like, how did game one make you feel?
I liked that they were more organized. I liked that, again, like we talked about earlier. I liked the way he used Anthony Davis. He was the first coach that I've seen put LeBron in an offense where he didn't need to have the ball. Or like that was, I don't think I've ever seen a coach do that. Where it looked competent without him having to play make and be on ball. And you also, even if something broke down, you could still go back to it if you wanted to. And you saw it towards the end, like they just went to LeBron AD 2-man game, and that's great. You can just pull that out whenever you want. But for the most part, JJ had the team looking organized. He took timeouts. I am so happy with the way he handled the Bronny thing. I don't know if you want to talk about that now or what, but like,
Go ahead. We
I
can talk about it.
mean, I was just hoping, as someone who hopes Bronny develops, I was just hoping that it wasn't bad. It wasn't going to be like they were getting beat or blown out or whatever. I'm glad that the team, the whole team, took the game way more serious than Minnesota did. So when he got in, the Lakers had momentum. So it wasn't like anything crazy. And then also, I was just happy that hey, let them play for a little bit. As soon as they go in the room, call timeout before it gets before you lose the damn game. So that was great. We got to see it. He did the smart thing, get Bronny in there, get him out. And now we can all move on. It's done. We saw it. History happened. We don't have to talk about this. We don't have to ask questions about this every game. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not, you know how I feel about it. It doesn't really bother me at all. But I'm going to say this. I don't like the history happen stuff when Bronny didn't hit a damn shot. Like the thing with, and I'm not saying it happened the first game with Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad. And I don't even know because I really wasn't even paying attention. I was a baby at that time. But Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey, his dad, they both had a game where they both hit a home run in. Like they each hit a home run. That's historical. If you're gonna play with your dad, I need something to happen. A lob. If LeBron passing the ball, he hits the three, I'm cool. That's history. But just
That'd be
checking in
great.
the game,
Yeah.
just checking in the game and then going out there running around and then y'all playing a 2-man game with nothing really going on. It makes it more of a debacle than it does historic. If I remember it in my mind historically, I'm gonna remember how much of a debacle it was more so than remembering it as a historic moment. And I want to remember it as a historic moment. That's just me. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not a nitpicker. I'm not one of those people that's going to hate and find something to be mad about.
Yeah.
That's not my bag. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my 2 cents on it. And on the JJ Redick tip, it's game one. So I definitely want to hold my horses. I do see some deficiencies with this Lakers roster. They're going to have to strengthen the bench somehow unless JJ got something cooked up that I don't see happening. But I just like the way that he used Anthony Davis. To me, I think that big men are the key. I think that you need a big man in the NBA that is versatile, that is skilled, and that can do multiple things. The days of the pick and roll, lob threat, Clint Capella type guys, and that's all you got. I think those days are coming to an end. You know what I mean? And I mean, you can
Yeah.
do it, but you better have special play. You better have Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what you need in order for that big man to work. Because the days of just having a good score with a live threat, like what Minnesota has with Rudy Gobert, I think the days
Yeah.
of that is over.
I think the skill that modern bigs need the most is you got to be able to play short roll and 4-on-3 in today's era. Like if you got that in your bag, you are already far ahead of like most other bigs because that
For
means
sure.
that any team can use you because your big is always going to be on a 4-on-3. You're always going to be on short roll. If you know how to finish and pass out of that, like you basically become Draymond Green and like on offense. Like Draymond, we shit on Draymond, but Draymond's perfect in 4-on-3 and short roll. He either scores, makes the right pass, and contributes to them being a dynasty because he's so good at that. And so I think if you got that skill now, like that, like you got to have it in your bag. You got to be able to do that because the lob threats are just so situational now.
Yeah, and they can be easily taken out of offense. They can be easily
Yeah,
game planned for, and once they're game planned for, it's a wrap. Like Boston showed you in the finals, it was a wrap. But I guess, man, that's really all there is to talk about. You got anything else you got to get off your chest? Is there anything else you need to discuss?
um, I want to do a Torian Prince playing time tracker this season because
He's in Milwaukee, right?
because
Okay.
guess his favorite coach is also on the bench coaching him.
Yeah, I already know. I already
And
know.
last year, Torian, I think, played the most minutes in his career, playing under Darvin Ham. And the love affair continues in Milwaukee. So
Oh my god.
I would like, when Milwaukee struggles and we look at Torian's minutes, I don't want anybody to say anything to me. Don't. I don't want to hear any bail for Darvin Ham, any bail from Milwaukee because I told y'all, motherfuckers. I told y'all. Look, I like Torian Prince, I do, but he is not a 45-minute per game player. So
That's crazy. Yeah, 45
that's
minutes a game.
that's all I got. That's all I
Nuts.
got. We're gonna see though.
Okay. You got to get rid of these vendettas, man. This is a new season. Let's leave the narratives and the agendas behind. You know what I'm saying? But I know your bag, man. I know how you are. So it's all good. You stay
No.
consistent, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But that was episode 21, man. Thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It's on the thumbnail. So if you ignore the thumbnail, you're an asshole. Thank you, Quinn, for
Yeah.
showing up,
All right,
man.
y'all.
We out, man.